There's a moment every great player faces. It's that moment when they look at the mirror and realize their window is closing. Their legs don't move like they used to. Their body doesn't recover like it once did. And that trophy case, it's still missing that one piece that matters most. Most players accept it and walk away with grace. They become analysts, or coaches, or just rich guys who play golf. But some players can't accept it. They look at that empty space where a Super Bowl ring should be and feel a void so deep, something inside them snaps. Some abandon teams that love them, join bitter rivals they once despised, and then humiliate themselves on national television, all for a ring they'll never earn. Today, we're counting down the most embarrassing ring-chasing disasters in NFL history. Starting with the quarterback who retired more times than he played in his first final season, and then later betrayed an entire state and threw one of the dumbest interceptions in playoff history. Brett Favre retired in March 2008, tears streaming down his weathered face at the press conference, voice cracking with emotion, the whole theatrical production. Green Bay mourned like they'd lost a family member. Fans wept openly in the streets. The legend was finally hanging up his cleats after 16 glorious seasons. It lasted exactly 4 months. By July, Favre wanted back in. The Packers said no. They'd moved on to Aaron Rodgers. But the divorce got ugly. Favre demanded a trade like a bitter ex-girlfriend coming for your tires. He got his wish and was shipped out to the New York Jets, which was quite amusing because, the Jets are a team that exists solely to disappoint and generate depressing headlines. Yep, you only join the Jets if you're desperate or delusional. The season went exactly how you'd expect. Favre played like your dad trying to relive his high school glory days. He started strong, then completely fell apart down the stretch. The Jets went 8-3, then lost 4 of the last 5 games to miss the playoffs. Favre threw 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in the final 5 weeks, a la modern-day Jameis Winston. His arm was cooked. His decision-making was worse. He looked every bit of 39 years old. 1 season, 9-7 record, no playoffs. A pure laughable disaster. Then Favre retired again. Big announcement. Definitely done this time. For real. Pinky promise. Except he wasn't. In 2009, he did the unthinkable. He joined Green Bay's oldest, most hated rival, the Minnesota Vikings. This wasn't just switching teams. This was betrayal of biblical proportions. This was Judas-level treachery. The entire state of Wisconsin wanted to burn his jersey and salt the earth where he once stood. And Favre? He loved every second of it. He showed up to Green Bay in a purple jersey like a supervillain returning in a movie sequel. He threw touchdown after touchdown and beat his old team with ease. He acted like he was starring in his own revenge fantasy. For one magical season, it actually worked. The Vikings went 12-4. They destroyed teams. They looked unstoppable. Favre threw 33 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions at age 40. He was playing like he'd found the fountain of youth in Minneapolis. The Vikings made the NFC Championship. 1 game away from the Super Bowl. 1 game away from Favre getting that second ring and the ultimate revenge story. And then came January 2010. Vikings versus Saints for the NFC Championship. The game went back and forth like a heavyweight title fight. 4th quarter. Game tied. Vikings had the ball. Favre had just driven them deep into Saints territory. They were in field goal range. All he had to do was not screw it up. Run the ball, take a knee, kick the field goal, and go to the Super Bowl. Simple. But Brett Favre has never met a risky throw he didn't like. 3rd and long, clock running, Favre rolled to his right, away from the pressure. Instead of throwing the ball away or taking a sack, he did the most Favre thing imaginable. He threw across his body, back into the middle of the field, while getting hit, to a receiver who wasn't even open. The ball floated through the air in slow motion like a wounded bird. Tracy Porter, Saints cornerback, couldn't believe his luck. He intercepted it easier than catching a beach ball at a kid's birthday party. Interception. Game over. Season over. Dream dead. The Saints won in overtime. Drew Brees went to the Super Bowl. Favre's ring-chasing nightmare died in the most predictable, most Favre way possible. A stupid, unnecessary, completely avoidable throw that everyone in America saw coming except him. He came back for 1 more season in 2010, because apparently that humiliation wasn't enough. He played 4 games. He looked like someone's grandfather trying to prove he could still dunk a basketball. His consecutive start streak ended. His body gave out. The Vikings went 6-10. He finally retired. For real this time. No second ring, no redemption, no glory. Just a tainted legacy, a betrayed fan base, and one of the dumbest interceptions in playoff history playing on loop forever. But if you think Favre's team hopping was pathetic, let's talk about the running back who spent nearly a decade carrying terrible teams, finally escaped to join a contender, and watched his dreams turn to ashes before his eyes. Steven Jackson spent 9 years with the St. Louis Rams as an absolutely incredible standout player on a team that was complete garbage. He rushed for over 10,000 yards, made 3 Pro Bowls, carried the Rams on his back like Atlas holding up the world while the team fell apart around him. And they gave him nothing. No playoffs, no hope, no support. Just years and years of pain watching inferior players get rings while he wasted away in football purgatory. So, in 2013, Jackson left. He was 30 years old and running out of time. He signed with the Atlanta Falcons, a team that had just gone 13-3 and looked like they were one step away from a Super Bowl. Perfect setup, right? Veteran running back joins a contender, gets his ring, and rides off into the sunset with his legacy intact. Except the Falcons immediately imploded. They went 4-12 in Jackson's first season. The offense fell apart. Jackson's body started breaking down. He rushed for a pathetic 543 yards. His dream was dead on arrival. He tried one more year in Atlanta, 707 yards. Still no playoffs, just more pain and soul-crushing disappointment. In 2015, at age 32, Jackson made one last desperate attempt. He signed with the New England Patriots, the Ring Factory, Tom Brady's cheat code to championship glory, the team that turned run-of-the-mill players into Super Bowl champions. He lasted exactly 3 weeks before getting cut. 3 weeks. The Patriots took one look at him in training camp and said, nope, before the season even started. Jackson never played another snap in the NFL. No ring, no glory, no storybook ending. Just a haul of the very good but not great career that ended with him getting dumped by the Patriots like yesterday's trash. At least Jackson tried with teams that made sense. The next guy won his ring, but everyone knows he was just a hired gun who joined the evil empire, collected his paycheck, and bounced. Darrelle Revis was the best cornerback of his generation. Revis Island wasn't just a nickname. It was a no-fly zone where opposing receivers went to die. He spent 7 years with the New York Jets, being incredible, on a team that ranged from pretty good to catastrophically terrible, depending on the day. In 2013, he got traded to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers threw $16 million at him for one season of mediocrity. The team went 4-12. Revis looked bored. Everyone knew he was just there to collect a paycheck. Then came 2014, the ring chase. Revis signed with the New England Patriots. 1 year, $12 million, the ultimate mercenary move. He didn't even pretend it was about anything other than getting a ring. And it worked. The Patriots won the Super Bowl. Malcolm Butler made the goal line interception. Confetti fell. Revis got his ring. Mission accomplished, right? Except here's where it gets weird. The moment Revis got his jewelry, he bolted. Signed a massive contract with the Jets, played 2 mediocre seasons where he looked slow and disinterested, then finished his career with the Kansas City Chiefs, getting benched and cut mid-season. He got his ring, sure, but everyone knows the truth. He was a mercenary, a hired gun who joined Belichick's machine, won his championship, and left without a second thought. No loyalty, no legacy moment, just a business transaction that happened to end with a parade. If Revis was a mercenary, the next guy was just flat out delusional. A running back who refused to accept that Father Time is undefeated. Adrian Peterson was a god in 2012. He rushed for 2,097 yards. He came within 9 yards of breaking the single-season rushing record. He won MVP as a running back, which basically never happens in the modern NFL. But then his career became a depressing tour of NFL cities where he played the role of, hey, remember when that guy was good? After leaving Minnesota in 2017, Peterson started bouncing around the league like a pinball. He signed with the Saints in a backup role, barely relevant. Then the Cardinals. One decent season that meant absolutely nothing. Then Washington. 2 years of nostalgia football where fans pretended he was still elite. Then he tried to join the Titans and didn't even make the roster. Then the Seahawks. Practice squad. Never got activated for a single game. He kept chasing, kept signing, kept thinking he had one more magical season in him. One more chance to get that ring that had eluded him his entire career. It never came. Peterson finished with 14,918 rushing yards, 0 championships, and a legacy of not knowing when to walk away with dignity. Our final player might have the most embarrassing ring chase of all time because he actually got benched by the team he joined specifically to win a championship. Randy Moss was the most talented wide receiver to ever play football. Speed, hands, deep threat ability that made defensive coordinators lose sleep and coined a phrase we still use today. You got mossed. But he bounced around the league for years. Minnesota, Oakland, New England, where he almost won it all. Back to Minnesota, then Tennessee. In 2012, at age 35, Moss signed with the San Francisco 49ers. They were loaded. Colin Kaepernick was balling out. The defense was dominant. They were Super Bowl favorites. This was Moss's last shot at a ring. His final chance to add that one thing missing from his Hall of Fame resume. He only played one game, caught one pass, and got benched. The 49ers coaches decided they didn't need him. He was slow now. He couldn't separate. He looked washed up. San Francisco went to the Super Bowl anyway and lost to Baltimore in a thriller. Moss watched from the sideline as a healthy inactive, the ultimate humiliation. Ring chasing so hard, you join a Super Bowl team and still can't get on the field. He retired immediately after. No ring, no glory. Just the memory of being benched on national television in his final desperate attempt. So there you have it. Now, if you think ring chasing attempts were crazy, you need to see what happens when players get so dominant, so completely unstoppable, that the NFL has to literally change the rules to stop them. I'm talking about players who turn the game into their personal, violent playground until the league said enough and rewrote the entire rulebook. Check out our next video, every NFL player who had rules to stop them, now.